Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Sammy. Do you guys miss Path of Exile 2? I do. And I wanted to do this video because I'm feeling like not playing Path of Exile 2 is kind of like breaking up with the girl that you love and you need to take a break. And the two of you have kind of just gone separate ways. There's love there. You both want it to work out, but for whatever reason, when you're together, the issues start popping up and it drives the both of you away from each other. Now, that is a very corny way of trying to express my point. We have a huge dilemma in this relationship. And in this video, I want to talk about that. Now, the elephant in the room when it comes to Path of Exile 2 is the fact that the vision is going up against what the majority of the player base want. We all know what the vision is, and some people, when they use the term vision, immediately think of Jonathan, immediately think of all the memes. There's a lot of negativity around that, but I don't want to frame it as a negative connotation. I want to frame it as a positive in the sense that at the end of the day, Grinding Gear Games has a vision for the game, and unfortunately, they have found out that it doesn't mix well with the majority of the player base. So herein lies the dilemma. This is the crossroad that we are currently experiencing with Path of Exile 2. Sorry. Now, I personally love this game, but it doesn't hit me with the current state. In other words, I do want it to change. Now, I don't want the level of difficulty reduced. I don't want this game to be super easy and super blasty. I want this game to kind of meet in the middle. In other words, keep the level of difficulty, but change and fine-tune a couple of things. Now, I have already mentioned this in several of my videos. I personally think that at the core is the loot. And I've said this in a previous video of mine. They fixed the loot. They have 75% of the problem addressed. Now, there are other things that they need to address. And the other thing is the Souls-like mechanics in this game. How much are they willing to keep on that pedestal of theirs when it comes to making the game, and I hate to use the term, meaningful and engaging combat? I personally love the engaging combat in Path of Exile 2. It's what makes Path of Exile 2 personally. So getting back to this relationship analogy, Grinding Gear Games needs to decide. It's my way or the highway. And then the player base, I think we already know what's going to happen if that is the outcome. And I wanted to do this video because I really think, and I might get a lot of hate for this, what I'm about to say. People might think that I'm totally out to lunch. But I gotta say, without sounding and patting my ego too much, there's not too many takes that I've had in the 2 years that I've been creating content that either haven't been bang on or too far off. Now, I have been wrong. And the latest one that immediately pops up to my head, I was a firm believer that this game was going to come out of early access in 2025. I really, really doubt that. Now, they might prove me wrong and they might just launch the game with all its issues at the end of this year. Only time will tell. Oh, and I was wrong. I thought the Druid was going to come out as well with 0.2. So I've been wrong, but I've been right more than I've been wrong. So I really think Grinding Gear Games has no choice. No choice. If they want to have a huge concurrent player count, and they want their game to be top in the charts and keep a healthy player base, they have no choice but to get and move away from their vision. Clearly, they have to if they want a large audience. Now, that's my take. Everything in this game is all behind RNG, just about. And then the one-shot mechanics. You heard it all. But the point of this video is to say one thing. Unfortunately, Grinding Gears games has to change their philosophy. They have to. Personally, I don't think they have a choice. Well, they do have a choice. All I'm saying is if they stick to their guns, they're fighting a losing battle, unfortunately. That is the truth. No sugarcoating it. Not going to glaze one side or the other. This is the truth. If they want to move the needle with players, they got to get away from that vision. Now, I really, really hope that they do it reasonably, move the needle. I do not believe that they need to do a 360. This is a 180 or a 90 pivot. And I think if they do the right pivots in the right areas, now we're talking. Now this game is going to get to where I believe eventually it is going to get to. Now, Grinding Gear games may not realize this until they have to. So there may be 1, 2, 3 more missteps in an attempt to not do a 360. Maybe they're going to do a 45 pivot. But at the end of the day, if the pivots don't sum up to a 180 or a 90, we're going to be where we are today. That is radio silence for them. And I think there's silence right now because it's actually an ideal time. Because people right now, they're sidetracked with, there's a lot going on in gaming right now. There's a ton of games out there. And in ARPGs, a lot of people have been playing Last Epoch, having a lot of fun. No Rest for the Wicked is coming out in a couple of days. So players in this genre are they're kind of distracted right now. So Path of Exile 2 is still on their mind, but it's not like, hey, what's going on? Because they're occupied right now. Now, me, myself, I want to go back to playing Path of Exile 2. I have had that itch many times, even during playing Last Epoch, but I've stopped myself because I know what the outcome is. The outcome is me raging because of those mechanics that are in the game that just take the fun out of the game in a very high general statement. So I've stopped myself from going back. Believe me, I have died to go back. I love Path of Exile 2. I still am saying that it will be the best ARPG in the future. I just thought it was going to be a lot quicker and sooner and evident right from the get-go. But obviously, there have been some missteps. So I'm hoping Grinding Gear Games comes to, I don't want to say their senses because they're smart people. They're a good studio. They just have a vision that they thought was going to be successful, and it's not. Clearly, the majority of the player base is saying, no, this is not what we want. So I just wanted to come back and talk about Path of Exile 2. I haven't played it, God, in such a while. I'm dying to play it, but I'm not going to play it until they change some of these core things, just because it's no fun playing it. Unfortunately, it hurts me to say that. And they're not paying me. Nobody's paying me to say what I say. I speak the truth. I speak from my experience. But I would love to hear what you think. What do you believe is going to happen? Do you believe Grinding Gear Games is going to pivot from their vision? Or do you think they're going to stand pat and say, too bad, too sad, get good, Sammy, and maybe you can play the game and enjoy it more? Do you think that's kind of what they're going to do? Or are they slowly going to pivot towards making and appeasing the majority of their player base. We can't deny, guys, this is the foundation in this game. I've said it a million times, is unbelievable. I'm still positive about the future of this game. And again, that's just my personal opinion. I'm not being given anything for saying that. So, but I do want to hear what you think. I also am very curious because there is a lot of time that's going by right now. Okay, this game launched December 6th. And yes, I'm going to use the word early access, although a lot of people hate when creators use that word. And you know what? I'm refraining myself from saying it as much as I used to because I thought about it. They're right. Like, we have paid into this game and they are releasing content like League seasonal content, right? Every 3 months they want to do these big content drops. So it feels and looks like already a seasonal game, a live service game. So we should treat it as such, even though it has the label early access. So I'm trying to not use that term as much as possible. But do you think, what are they going to do? Are they going to stand pat, or are they going to relent and come closer? And if they do, what is the game going to be like? This is my other concern. I do think they need to relent. They do need to move. But I'm really worried about them relenting too much. I don't want PoE 1. I want a unique PoE 2. Anyway, hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think. Would love to hear it. Again, apologies for the lack of content, but I don't make content just to make content. When I make a video, I want to talk about stuff that's relative and on my mind. And right now, not playing Path of Exile 2 and waiting for them to pivot or not pivot is really on my mind. So I just wanted to talk about it. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it would really mean the world to me. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm not disappearing. I'm going to be here for a very, very long time. Just wanted to check in and say hello. Miss everybody. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.